So alright, I am Ruminous, and we are doing a review for Jedi Survivor. While we wait indefinitely for the Coda remake that is bound to fail miserably, we get the glory that is Jedi Survivor. Fallen Order came out and surprised many people by being a good game with actual care to it, compared to the travesty that has been Battlefront for the past couple years. Survivor takes everything about its predecessor and improves on it. You get to keep your Force skills from the previous game, finally, and actually get to do cool Jedi things. They even give you all the color crystals from the start, so you can actually be whatever type of Jedi you want to be. The story is about 5 years after Fallen Order, and much has changed since then. Marin and Seer both cut their hair, while Grease and Cal grow theirs. I'm not sure why the genders require these rules to the hairstyles, but here we are. Cal is going around the Empire causing a ruckus where he can. As to why Vader has not hunted him down yet is truly beyond me. Seems like this Jedi is more than just a kid now and actually a political nightmare. The story revolves around Mass Effect 2, where there is a hidden planet behind some black hole that eats ships. So obviously, we need to find a way into it. On the way, we meet Thanos, and an ancient Jedi who clearly is not evil whatsoever. Don't worry, he's just fine. He's just a little upset. I really do wish Star Wars would lean into the more KOTOR style of Jedi, where Revan went to war because the Mandalorians were rampaging, and the exile came back to a trial explaining that the Jedi were only alive because the others went to war. I want the nuance and the strife instead of Cal refusing to kill people who are clearly too far gone. All of our issues could have been solved if he just bzzz some people. The story follows the normal progression of Star Wars. Main character loses because killing people is wrong, and mercy is better. Then those villains cause mass havoc, and Cal regains some force powers and kills some people anyway after failing to turn them. There is a twist in the story that is pretty obvious about halfway through, and also fails miserably in being cohesive with the rest of the game's themes. The last 20% of the game fights itself between the last villain being redeemable and a complete psychopath. Cal is giving this person every chance of mercy, and would likely forgive and forget, but this person, for no benefit, decides that murder is the only choice. They shove so much dark side and chaos into the last section that it loses a lot of the character growth that they put in early in the game. As far as gameplay, I get to play any Star Wars game better, and it keeps on par with many action games. Naughty Dog really outdid themselves this time when they made Uncharted, Remnant of the Laser Swords. Survivor takes your average white dude with padded hair and a slight beard. Oh my god. It's me! Oh my god, it's me, Mom! Mom, I'm on the YouTubes! Mom, why won't you answer me? Why aren't I important to you? And tosses him into the midst of chaos, but he seemingly always has something to climb on and a one-liner to lift the mood. Personally, I love this, and I wish they would continue on with this theme, as they constantly make fun of not only Star Wars, but Cal himself throughout the game. Not everything needs to be so serious. You get a bunch of different lightsaber styles, finally a feature I've missed since the Jedi Knight games, and each have a purpose in the game. You can choose the fast and weak moves, but you can cancel into blocks, or you can choose to do a ballet and slice everything into pieces, so long as the robot doesn't grab you and punch you in the face. The force powers you get are actually mostly useless compared to what you already have at the beginning of the game, but the upgrades you get in the skill tree are awesome. Once you level up everything, you can start doing some serious damage and actually get the idea that you are a Force user. The travel and worlds are much more open, making navigation so much easier. Normally for games like this, I will do a 100% guide, but Dathomir can kiss my grits, and I never want to do that again. Unfortunately, while the game is more open, the worlds are so much larger, and I don't think for the better. There are so many collectibles, and after some time, they don't matter, or they're just generally useless no matter how far you are in the game. Whoever decided that a mullet was an acceptable haircut was wrong. I don't care that they're coming back in style, you are wrong too. Everyone is wrong on this cursed day. The combat is less fun and varied when it works. I played on the PS5, but I read reports of the Xbox One, Series, Xbox 360, Super X having the same issues. Please name these things normally. I don't know what they are named anymore. Loading times are long, sometimes indefinite. The game will crash. Visual glitches are everywhere. Lightsaber attacks just phasing through enemies. Blocks and parries clearly connecting, but you get hit anyway. The lag and climbing failures for no reason are rare and not really impeding the game, but the combat constantly failing and not registering made me turn the difficulty down. I literally was shouting parry every time that I was in a fight at one point when I was so frustrated, and after 5 in a row of me shouting parry followed by signifying that I was blocking, and one time at the end where I still got hit even though he did the blocking animation, I recognized that the game was not polished or tight enough for the highest difficulty. The force powers also suffer from a lack of mechanics and polish, as these super duper force powers take time to charge up, but there's always a ranged enemy who will shoot you and knock you out of the charge, or a melee enemy spamming red attacks. As such, you have to run away so that you can charge up. While I agree there should be detrimental mechanics, why can enemies shoot relentlessly and incessantly use unblockable attacks when I can't use my powerful magic? It gets to the point that you rely mostly on the lightsaber in big fights, as every single hit staggers Cal and opens him up for a stun lock. Along with the story issues and the optimization problems, there's also a design issue with parts of the game, particularly with the New Game Plus. I understand that the later force powers are blocked so you can't secret break the game, but here's my question. I already beat the game, who cares if I break the order in which things are done? Most of the events could have been planned so that you get to keep your force powers, but still block off those certain areas. There's also major problems of having to do the tutorial cutscene and play it again, as it takes 5 minutes to go through. Let's also count the fact that you have to upgrade all of your stats again, even if you have enough points to max out everything, and upgrading has so many pauses and latency and random effects and whatever that it becomes tedious to replay. While Survivor is a great game that is tremendous to play on the hard or below difficulties, it is visually and audibly magnificent. It suffers from so much design oversight, fluffing the worlds with useless cosmetics and travel, and also various glitches, that the game is a mixture of absolute delight, cinematic masterpieces, and one-liners, with frustrating waste of time trying to platform the same thing and not getting the wind boost, or restarting a section because an attack was intangible to an enemy. Overall, I give the game an 8 out of 10. You may be confused on that based on the negative aspects that I mentioned, but those really only shine on the harder difficulties, or rarely when you're climbing around doing certain things. It doesn't happen that often. If you play on normal, these issues will not cause you death, or a loss of too much time, or a lot of frustration. Failure is easy to come back from in Survivor, and the negatives are more of a disappointment than breaking the game. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of future videos. If you have any disparaging comments about things you think that I got wrong, things that you want to add about Survivor, or maybe things that I missed, please put them in the comment section below so that we can continue this discourse. But until next time, Walete Omnes.